Okay, hello. It is I. Surprised.
It might be good. It might be utter garbage.
Oh, photographer.
Don't like it. We won't know until we get there.
All right, it's been a hot minute, hasn't it? What, 2 years? And I've got completely different hair. Actually, I've had completely different hair for a while now. I'm filming this sat on my living room floor because I haven't sorted out my office upstairs yet, which is going to be my filming space. Do you like the fake wisteria that I've hung here? This is my summer decoration of the staircase. Very pretty. Should see it in autumn. Right, yes, I've returned. It's been a really long time. I promise I'll come back and stay for longer, so on and so forth. But no, I mean it this time, I am. And you know why? Because I have an entire schedule set up. And before I get into the topic of today's video, because it is a big one, I thought maybe I would just do a super quick update as to what I've been doing for anyone that's remotely curious. So I've continued my journey into being self-employed, working on my photography business. There have been all kinds of crazy highs and lows. I also relocated from Birmingham a couple of years ago to the middle of the countryside, which is lovely. Most days I do feel like a little hobbit. It's great. Got really into making jam at one point. My family were quite worried. Doing some fiction writing in my spare time and really enjoying that. Gotten more tattoos. I've gotten to travel a lot more as well. Did my first solo trip in a really long time and went to Tunisia. I got to see the Sahara Desert and that was incredible, even though it was as hot as Satan's bumhole. I also got to visit Australia and New Zealand for a few weeks with my friend Vicky. This Vicky. So yeah, it's great. It's great. And to the shock of absolutely no one who's been following this channel and my journey, it's unsurprising that I tend to take long breaks with things. But now I'm happy to say that I'm in a position where I'm starting to build everything back up, and it feels like I'm starting from scratch even though I'm not. So we'll just see where it goes. And that brings us to the topic of today's video. I wanted to do a studio weekend event. So this idea was pretty simple. I would hire out a studio for 2 days, and within those days there would be 10 slots, each lasting 30 minutes, where a client could book in to shoot with me. And then they would pay a £20 deposit to secure their slot, and they could choose between 2 packages. They could have 2 retouched photos for £60, or 5 retouched photos for £100. So with this, I'd be able to not only have a whole load of content to keep me ticking over until the next big job or whatever, but I'd be able to make a lot more kind of connections, get my name out there. It was a win-win. So I had the idea, amazing. Step 1 is the planning. As for the studio I decided to book with, I went with Foss Media in Digbeth. They're a really great studio, so definitely check them out if you are in need of one. But Sean, who runs Foss Media, he and I used to work together about 10 years ago in a studio, so that's how I know him. And he was really on board for the idea. And so because I understood that I had to let him know soon because he had other people potentially wanting to book and I didn't want to disrupt anything, I got in there early and booked the days. So that was around February time, I believe. However, there was a bit of a miscommunication that was entirely my fault, where I thought I had officially finalised the days and confirmed them with him. And it turns out I hadn't. So by the time I got around to doing that properly, we were already in late February, early March. But by that point, I'd already started letting people know via word of mouth. And I have to give a special thank you to my brother James and his fiancée Fleur, who were amazing at helping me get the word out among their friends. My brother is a musician and he knows a lot of other musicians in the area, but now I had to put the feelers out on social media by creating a poll on an Instagram story asking, hypothetically, which day people would prefer for me to host a studio event, either the Friday or the Saturday, hoping stupidly that it was people were going to be split down the middle. No, turns out when you're self-employed, you tend to forget that the vast majority of people are typically available on a weekend. and the overwhelming majority vote was Saturday. So then I had to get back to Sean and request to change the days. Instead of the Friday and Saturday, it would be the Saturday and Sunday. Thankfully, he was able to do so, which I'm really grateful for. But I kind of did all of that in the wrong order. Because I was so anxious that they weren't going to be available, I thought I would get in there early. I don't know. But at that point, by the time I put the Instagram story out, it was already the 10th of March. So almost exactly a month till the event. Not brilliant. It was a win-win. Or so I thought. Because now we get into the problem. And to help me explain the problem, I have a very special guest in the form of Lego Emma. Right, take it away, little Emma.
So I'm a creative, and like a lot of people, I find myself inspired by something, and when I get a brilliant idea, I initially run away with all the best possibilities and outcomes. Positive overthinking, if you will. I build up lots of momentum and I start working towards it. But then the longer it goes on, the more I start to doubt myself. Imposter syndrome creeps in, and suddenly everything feels massive and terrifying. And because I struggle with avoidant tendencies, although not as much as I used to, I admit, I start procrastinating and avoiding sending the messages, advertising the project, hyping it up, because of a voice in my head telling me it'll fail anyway, so why bother trying? And then because of my avoidance and procrastination, I start overthinking the negatives instead of the positives. And all the while, as I'm busy spiraling, I'm actually creating a self-fulfilling prophecy, where I'm not doing something because I'm scared of failure, but that means I will inevitably be the reason I fail.
Anyway, so that started happening. Then the marketing.
So I am currently in the woods going to film my promo video, and it might be good. It might be utter garbage. We won't know until we get there. But I didn't really want to film in my house, so I hope this works. Okay, I've set up where to record, and I hate this. I've just got to get on with it. I don't like it. It's very empty today, though. The woods near me are very, very empty. I've seen 2 dog walkers all day. But I've spent ages faffing with the angle. So I'm just going to have to... We're just going to have to work with what we've got. All right. I've typed down what I need to say. I'm going to try and do it in one take. Just get it over and done with. And then I can go home. I can drink coffee. I've bribed myself with coffee. How sad is that? God. Anyway. God, let's get this nightmare over with.
A few moments later.
Oh, that was fucking excruciating.
I think I did it, so... Oh, a lot of jumping around. I've got mud on my bum.
Hurt my hand.
Worth it?
Lo and behold, people loved it. It got so many views and so many shares and so many likes and comments, and people were messaging me saying, oh, I've just seen your video, it's so great, it's so good. Like, and it just made me feel really good. So thank goodness, honestly, because I was dreading it. I was like, I'm about to make a fool of myself for no good reason whatsoever, and it's not even gonna land. And because of that, that actually generated a lot of interest.
So then what did I do? Well, you've got to create a booking system. I created a calendar via Google Calendar with all of the slots via half-an-hour appointments throughout the 2 days. I then attached that to a Google form, just requesting people's...
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Just requesting people's names, emails and phone numbers just to contact them, their profession, what kind of images they were looking for, what sort of vibe they wanted, because this way I could plan all of their images and tailor it to them in advance so I'm not faffing about on the day and it's slowing things down. And then what they were planning to use the images for, which package they would be selecting. Of course, I put a note to say that it is possible to upgrade on the day because I didn't want people to feel pressured to go with the more expensive package. I wanted them to, you know, see how they felt about the shoot and get comfortable and go from there. Right, glasses are on. This is serious business. I've got an Easter egg looking at me across the room and I can't eat it until I've done this Google form. I cannot tell you the level of mental gymnastics I had to do to get this sorted, because I'm not great with numbers and I was getting so confused. It was, the mental gymnastics were on an Olympic scale. I was working overtime. And you know what? I'm looking at these slots right now and they don't look like a lot. Like, they really don't look like a lot. I have to fill 20 slots and I was shitting bricks thinking I'm not going to be able to do it. But looking at them like this, that's not that many. I announced it a couple of days ago. You know, I've already got quite a bit of interest. A couple of people have already confirmed that they want to sign up to the pre-launch. That's something.
It was a win-win.
I don't know. I'm overthinking it again. It's all just getting really real now. Like, it's getting really, like... It is Saturday the 28th, and that means that it is the official launch day of my studio event. As in, the booking link goes live. Now, I've had 2 official bookings with the pre-launch, so that is good. 2 is better than none at all. So I just need to make the link live to everyone, and I am slightly shitting myself. Because again, what if no one books? I'm trying really hard to keep that thought out of my mind anyway. I'm just going to make a coffee. A decaf coffee is probably best because I am anxious enough already. And then I'll start advertising. So yeah. So I'm in a bear onesie and I'm currently editing, but I wanted to update because I got another booking, which is great. However, the first person who made a booking unfortunately had to cancel due to scheduling conflicts. So, but that's fine. But now it means that with a third booking, that technically brings us back down to 2. So we're kind of where we were already, but it's okay. I'm going to remain positive. So the plan is continue to share the reel on social media. I'm going to do daily stories, updating people with the link in the stories so that people aren't having to do much legwork. Like, it's streamlined for them and it's easier. I'll film the next advert tomorrow and then I can boost that. But yeah.
Later.
By the morning of Monday the 6th of April, I was now aware that despite my best efforts and trying to catch up with the delay, I now only had 4 out of 20 bookings for the event and no one else was going to book. I was secretly panicking. The clock was ticking, the weekend was looming closer, and I already felt like I'd failed. But then, on the morning of the first day of the event, something happened. I woke up and realised that I actually didn't care that much. That 4 bookings was still 4 bookings, and while I might just be able to break even by the end of this, I was still going to make the most out of this event and learn from it.
Was that focused on my face? It is 11 in the morning and I am in the studio in Digbeth. But my first booking isn't until 2:30 this afternoon. And I've paid for this studio, I might as well use the space. So what I'm gonna do is a lighting test. And I thought as well, what I haven't done for a very long time is a self-portrait. I used to do them all the time. So I feel like a self-portrait would be a really good use of my time, especially because I've got an image in mind that I want to do. And if you would like to follow me, I will show you what we're working with. This is the studio. I've got an infinity curve here, which if I step into this, welcome to the void. We've got some roll down backdrops, another blank wall. We've got this nice sort of mottled, hand-painted kind of thing going on here. Then, come over here. Behind the scenes, this amazing makeup station. And I'm thinking one of my clients tomorrow is a drag performer. So I thought this is very apt. We're gonna get some shots in the studio proper anyway, but I'm thinking to get some here as well. And with the lighting, I think that would look phenomenal. So, oh, and that's like the hidden little tea and coffee station, the wonderful land of caffeine. So yeah, that's what we're working with. And here is the view outside. Lovely sunny Digbeth with all the roadworks going on. But I figured that if I've paid for the studio and I've only got 4 bookings, it's a lot less than I was intending, but what I'm gonna do, turning those lemons into lemonade, and I might as well get a self-portrait done and get a good image out of it. So I'm gonna take you with me to do so. I can't get the quick release plate off my other camera, but it's the Sprider Pro plate that I don't have an Allen key for. I'm an awful, awful photographer. You know the really good thing about accepting my fate and just coping with the fact that I had very few bookings over the weekend? It meant I really got to experiment with lighting in a way that I hadn't done for quite a while. And as a result, I ended up with something I was really, really proud of. So proud, in fact, that I used it for Fleur's portrait series. Kind of fit the vibe anyway, because I wanted to go for a very mystical, dreamlike, romantic, but also witchy vibe, inspired by Florence and the Machine with like a little bit of Kate Bush. So yeah, it was a really, really great experience. Yesterday was a good day, actually. I was really, before this event, I was really stressed. The other client who was supposed to come at 2:30 was actually a no-show, unfortunately. No-shows do happen in the photography field. I wish they didn't, because it's really inconvenient. So they booked a slot with me. I sent them an invoice for the deposit. They never got back to me. They never paid the deposit. My mistake was leaving it till the Friday night, the night before their shoot, to email them to be like, hey, are you still turning up? Just confirm, radio silence. So I then, on the day, WhatsApped them, and again, nothing. So, but I think yesterday, in review, actually went really well. Even though I only had one client to shoot, and that was at the end of the day, I still managed to get to grips with some lighting. My friend visited me and kept me company and bought me 2 coffees actually, and then helped me by filming some behind the scenes content. So that was really, really nice, and I really appreciated the company. So yeah, the fact that I only had one shoot that whole day, weirdly, it didn't bother me. I put out a call Friday night on my Instagram story asking for dancers to photograph because I have a free morning, so I might as well. Unfortunately, no one was available. There were people that wanted to but couldn't make it. That is what it is. I appreciate it was very last minute. My first shoot is at 1:30. And fun fact, actually, and I think this is really sweet, my mom actually booked a slot At first, I was a bit like, oh no, you know. Well, most of the people booking slots are people who know me personally, and it always, at first, like, that little voice in my brain was going, oh, it feels like they're just kind of like doing me a favour because they feel sorry for me. Like, but actually, no, that's not it at all. And I realised that was just kind of a lot of my insecurity talking, because my mom is really excited to get her portrait taken, and I've never actually taken her portrait properly apart from the odd quick snap on a film camera. So this will be really nice. Oh no, this is my mom.
Hello.
And it was fun to take my mom's portrait as well. I haven't done that before, not properly. Yeah, it was just a really nice experience, and she was so super supportive and even said that she was proud of me, which was lovely. I am photographing Fleur's friend Sam, who has a drag persona. He's booked in for an hour, so I already have some ideas about what to do there and work out how I want the images to look, so that by the time Sam gets here, I'm super prepared to deliver. So yeah, I'm gonna eat my breakfast and then I'll get to some lighting tests. Sammy Rose is Sam's drag persona. Go and follow and support and show love. It takes a lot of confidence to go out and perform drag, especially when you're new to the scene. Yeah, just follow Sammy Rose, please. It was done. That was it. And I didn't really have any time to process, because myself and Sam and Fleur and my brother James all went to see Lucy Darling at the town hall that night. So it was a whirlwind, and I didn't really get a chance to process anything until I was back home, and just was like, whoa, okay, I did that. Good for me. So, the takeaways. What worked, what didn't, what went wrong, what went right. Things to do. Start in advance, well in advance. Gauge people's availability before I commit to a concrete day. Chase people up for deposits. Advertise like mad on social media. Make sure I have backups. If I do get no-shows, I can fill in that slot with something else. Oh, and also have someone there with me at all times, like an assistant, not just for safety reasons either. Like if I'm photographing someone I don't know, I'd rather just not be alone in the studio with them. That's kind of a given. Having an assistant there to help with the lighting and also record behind the scenes footage, because I do offer that in the package. And also it means that I don't have to focus on doing it, so I can fully give all of my attention to the client and their shoot, and have another person who is there almost kind of like a greeter to take people's names and their times and just chat to them and keep them occupied while I'm transitioning from one client to the next. The don'ts. Don't be overly ambitious and go for 2 days. I think 1 day from now on, until I can build enough momentum and word of mouth to start having them over 2 days, I think just stick with 1 for now. Don't get disheartened if people don't book right away. Don't forget my tripod. Don't leave anything to the last minute. So, yeah, this was an experience. Didn't quite go according to plan, wasn't exactly how I imagined it, but I have learnt a lot, and it's definitely something that I still want to do going forward. I'm not letting the fact that I didn't get a great turnout deter me in any way. I'm going to do this again, probably beginning of autumn, which means that I should really start discussing it now with people. Anyway, that is it for this video. if you stuck around and watched the whole thing. Cheers. And my schedule currently is that I'm going to upload every 2 weeks because I'm slowly starting to get my passion back for creating videos and sharing my journey, sharing my life and my work and all of that business. I hope you enjoyed and thank you for sticking around, and I will see you all in the next video, and I don't have a sign off. Bye.